Today we are talking LSU versus A&M, and what a game this was. Nobody in the entire country, least of all me, expected the game we saw out of A&M. I mean, we all knew LSU was beatable, right? We knew that they were a good team. They're one of those teams that could beat anybody, but they could also lose to anybody. But I didn't think in this fashion by a team like A&M who hasn't had a pulse since the end of September. They scored their season high in points with 38, their first time scoring above 30 points since the first week of the season when they played Sam Houston. Big reason for that number of points was their quarterback, Connor Wegman. The freshman, the 5-star, came in to this game and dealt. The best quarterback performance we've seen from an A&M quarterback all season long. Now, yes, there's been quarterbacks who have thrown for more yards, have thrown for more touchdowns in a game. But when you look at the way he played, he was consistent. He was surgical with the ball in big moments. You saw it in that perfect pinpoint pass to Moose Muhammad in the end zone. And most importantly, over everything, is he didn't turn the ball over. Devon Achane had a game racking up 215 yards against this LSU team, proving that he is NFL ready. Man, the way that he runs, he is a smaller guy with a lot of speeds, but he runs as if he's Derrick Henry size. He is a beast, and the sleeve gate man himself, Moose Muhammad, had a game as well, making circus catch after circus catch. You saw that one-handed with a blatant pass interference, one-handed grab for a touchdown, and then the juggling of the ball to get on LSU's territory. Man, what a game from their offensive weapons, right? What a game from this offense that looked dead. They've looked dead for the past 7 weeks. But they played great. Not going on to LSU's offense, they looked one-dimensional. They looked like really the only thing that they could do was run the ball, and that was really the only thing it looked like they were going to try to do. And once Jane Daniels gave up that scoop and score, he kind of looked weird to run the ball. He looked weird to keep it on read options because he knew that he'd done that before, and he pretty much coughed up the game for them when that happened. Now, LSU on defense was embarrassing. I'll say it. They let this A&M team do to them what no defense has let A&M do all season long. Even UMass didn't let A&M do this. Is they didn't just let A&M drive down the field, right? They didn't just let them get in the red zone, but they let A&M's red zone possessions turn into 7 points instead of 3. A&M made the red zone possessions turn into touchdowns and not field goals, and that was the difference in this game. They converted when they were down there, something they hadn't done all season long, and it was really fun to see. Now, if I'm an Aggie fan, I'm conflicted, right? There's two ways I'm looking at this. First, I'm happy. Happy you get a win against a top 5 team. Happy that last game of the season, you looked like it was a team with some life, right? You're excited. You beat LSU. It is the perfect way to end a 5-7 season. You couldn't have drawn up a better way to end a season like that. But there also has to be a part of you that is a little bit bummed because something called hope has kind of started to sneak in, right? You look at this game, oh my gosh, look what we just did to a top 5 SEC team. This thing's not broke, right? This is fine. Like, look at what we just did. We're going to be fine next year. We're going to be great next year. Let's preseason rank us number 6 again. This thing's not broke, but one great offensive performance doesn't negate the fact that there was 11 horrendous offensive performances. Things need to change in this program. And I think there's 3 things that need to change. One, we've already kind of seen changing, and that's that Jimbo needs to give up play calling duties. Now, they haven't gotten a play caller in there. He hasn't officially said that, but they fired their offensive coordinator, who, if he wasn't calling plays and they had the offense that they had, you can ask what was he doing. He was sitting in an air-conditioned press box, and he was collecting checks. I mean, that's a pretty good gig to have. But he's gone. So now what they need to do, in my opinion, is bring in some young offensive mind and give him play calling duties. Bring in a Garrett Riley type of guy, right? You saw what he did with TCU. Bring him in here and let him call the plays. Jimbo, I'm sorry, but you're old. And it's not the fact that you're old. Nick Saban's old. But what Nick Saban's willing to do is not call plays, and he's willing to transform his offense to what current modern-day college football is. Nick Saban's won championships running the ball 100 times in a game. He's also won championships passing the ball 100 times in a game. Yes, those are both exaggerated numbers, but you get what I'm saying. So give up play calling duties. Change your offensive philosophies, because this day and age in college football, what you guys have been running on the field all season long isn't going to cut it. Now, I think that there should be some positivity with a new play caller, because he's got pieces. Right? When you look at this team, when you look at Weigman, he started the last 4 games of the year, and he played well. No, he made some mistakes in past games. He threw some balls he shouldn't have. He was kind of scampery, right? A little bit scared in the pocket. That's because he's a freshman. That's going to come. He's got 4 games under his belt and a whole offseason to go. At wide receiver, you got Evan Stewart. You got Moose Muhammad. If those guys stay and you get a new play caller in there with those guys, this could be a good offense next year. This could be a good team next year. Look at what the defense is. That front 7, a lot of freshmen, a lot of 5-star defensive linemen. If you can get them to stay with this program, they're going to have a whole offseason under their belt. They've had a full season to play. If you could get them to stay, get this team to hold together, then you guys might be fine. Then A&M might have a good season next year. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win 11, 12, 10 games, but I would not expect another 5-7 season. But those things have to happen. Another thing is you got to make use of the portal. You got to get guys in here, like maybe another running back, because A-Chain's probably gone, right? Maybe another middle linebacker, because those guys are probably gone. You got to get people in the building. You got to improve based on what you already have. Now, you're not starting with something terrible. 4 top 5 recruiting classes, you got good players, but you're going to need some more weathered players on the offensive line, at running back, in the secondary. So make use of this transfer portal. So I think if A&M can do those 3 things, if Jimbo can give up the play calling duties, which he doesn't have to, he has all the leverage in that situation. The administration could say, give up play calling duties. And he's like, no. And they're like, okay, we're going to fire you. He's like, okay, pay me $85 million. Right? He has the power. But if he gives up play calling duties, if they keep the players that they have in College Station, and if they make use of the transfer portal, then I don't think it's ridiculous for there to be a little bit of hope creeping in College Station for next season.